the sold-out den of the Polar Bears, WOAC TV 67 Sports proudly presents the best in high school basketball 1995. In the minds of many, the premier regular season matchup as the Jackson Polar Bears entertain the McKinley Bulldogs. And this TV 67 special sports presentation is being brought to you in part by George Wakeham Ford. George Wakeham really is your friend at the factory. CCI and Ameritech Centrex, your telecommunications teammates. Lighthouse Pools and More, your customer-driven company for over 35 years. Value City Department Stores. No one gives you greater selection and savings than Value City. Toyota. I love what you do for me, Toyota. Clearwater Systems, for water the way it should be. 30th Street Giant Eagle. It takes a giant to make life simple. And the Montrose Auto Group. Montrose Lincoln Mercury in Alliance and Montrose Chrysler Plymouth in Louisville. Both just down the road from High Pressure. Hello again, everyone. Yours truly, Scott Davis, with our statistician, Vic Steffen. Tonight, our producer and director, Mr. Randy Ramsey, along with Mike Tonjes, Jim Baldus, our friends of Image Video. Tom Cannell, TC, away tonight on family business. It's a pleasure to welcome to the microphones my 10 o'clock news broadcast partner, Danielle Shinneberry. And Danielle, you look at these two teams, they're so evenly matched in so many areas. I'm looking forward to the type of game that these two played last March in postseason action.
Right, Scott. The last time these two teams met was in the district final last March. Now, that game was a real tug-of-war. Jackson came out strong, but the Bulldogs fought back with a 14-0 run in the first period. McKinley held the lead until the final period when the Polar Bears clawed their way to a 61-58 victory.
And of course, there's so many great players, outstanding players out on the court. But the one guy you got to look to is number 44 of Jackson, Jami Bosley, Stark County's all-time career scoring leader.
That's right, Scott. One definite key to that Polar Bear victory 10 months ago was Jackson's standout Jami Bosley. Well, Bosley's back better than ever. As a matter of fact, Bosley's led Jackson in scoring in all 16 of their games this season. He's shooting almost 80% from the free throw line and close to 60% from the floor. During his career, Bosley's played 5 games against the Bulldogs, and overall he scored a total of 130 points for an average of 26 points per game.
How about the matchup as we just saw moments ago? The two outstanding head coaches, Larry Taylor of Jackson, Dave Cady of McKinley. How do these two teams match up?
Well, Scott, one thing that makes this match between these two teams so interesting is their differences in style. While Jackson likes to play a half-court defense with a set-up offense, McKinley prefers to score on the run and keeps their opponent scrambling with their high-pressure man-to-man defense. This Bulldog team doesn't have any designated scorers, but what they do have is balanced scoring from each of their 5 starters. Now, you remember the Fab Five from Michigan?
Yep, sure do.
Well, another challenge for the Jackson Polar Bears to overcome will be what we call a McKinley Fresh Five. The Bulldogs will put the Polar Bears' endurance to the test with their 10-man rotation.
What can the folks look forward to tonight in terms of keys for both these two teams?
Well, we talked to Coach Larry Taylor earlier this week, and he says success for his team means concentrating on containing McKinley center Chris High and not getting tripped up by the Bulldogs' full-court press. Now, from the McKinley perspective, Coach Dave Cady says controlling Bosley will be virtually impossible, so his team needs to concentrate on shutting down other key scorers like Matt Thiel. And Scott, this is the 17th meeting between the two teams, and so far, McKinley's won 13 of the last 16 meetings. So, the scene is set. It should be a classic. The McKinley Bulldogs and the Jackson Polar Bears. The starting lineups and the opening tip right after this timeout. Jackson at 13-3, McKinley at 13-1. Here's Danielle with the starting lineups. Up front for the Bulldogs, we have Marcus Dave, Jay Keys, and Chris High. In the backcourt, they have Ron Hawkins and Tully McCullum. In the front for the Jackson Polar Bears, we have Matt Thiel, Jeff Chain, and Scott Henderson. And in the backcourt, Jami Bosley and Chris Zubb. Dave Cady in his 10th and final season as Bulldogs boss. Larry Taylor, his 11th year at Jackson High School. Two of our favorite people.
The two teams considered to be the top two teams in Stark County, and this will establish bragging rights heading into the tournament draw on Sunday, and the Canton sectional and district tournament play, which will begin around the end of February, beginning of March. Chris High, Scott Henderson, the two centers, both wearing number 52, and we're underway here from the sold-out Jackson Polar Bear Den, 2,500 strong on hand. This is Ron Hawkins with the basketball. Over to Telly McCullum. Jay Keys with it. Swing it back around to Hawkins, picked up by Matt Thiel. Keys guarded by Jeff Chain. Jackson in the zone. McKinley showing patience. Hawkins open for three. Couldn't get it to go, rebound Henderson. Up with it to Thiel. Jami Bosley with the ball for the first time. Henderson high post. Thiel for three. Rim no. Jay Keys with the rebound for McKinley. Stolen. Bosley got it to Thiel. Bosley for three. Too strong. Chain battling with McCullum. And it'll go the way of the Bulldogs. Our officials for tonight's game, Tony Grace and Greg Miller. We played just over a minute, no score. Hawkins and McCullum, the McKinley backcourt. High at the high post. Jay Keys near side. And again, McKinley showing good patience. Keys thought about the shot, picked up quickly by Chain. McCullum making the move, baseline, turnaround, no. Battle for the rebound, Jami Bosley has it. Jami Bosley on the move. It's 2-on-4, and Bosley lost it out of bounds, but it's off one of the McKinley players.
For a minute there, Scott, they thought they were going to get the foul.
Yep. Bosley forcing the play, hoping to draw the personal foul, but instead he will trigger it under his own basket. Chris Zupp, the Jackson point guard, over to Jami Bosley. Scott Henderson, guarded closely by High. The move inside, Bosley saves it. Double teamed, and they'll call it for a double dribble. So Danielle, you talked about the great defense, and that's been evident here. We've played almost 2 minutes, and we have yet to see a point on the scoreboard. Here comes Ron Hawkins. Marcus Day, Jay Keys with it. Hawkins thought about the three, picked up quickly in the zone by Chain. Size mismatch there. Dave gets it inside to High, kick it back outside to Hawkins. Around Hawkins, guarded by Zupp. This is Jay Keys, he got it. First 2 points of the game for Jay Keys, averaging 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. 2-0 Bulldogs, as you see it on the Video Safari scoreboard. Thiel making a move around High, draws the foul, couldn't get it to go, but we're gonna have our first foul shot.
You know, Matt Thiel, he's shooting 81% from the free throw line now.
And that's tops, or number 2 among the 5 starters. Jeff Chain just ahead of him at 82%.
And he's played in all but 1 game. He's been a starter in 15 games for them.
I believe he was out 1 game with an injury.
Right, that he sustained down in Myrtle Beach.
So Thiel hits the 2 foul shots. We are tied at 2, and we've played 2.5 minutes. Hawkins a long 3, rim no, Bosley the rebound. Jami Bosley with Zupp and Henderson. Bosley coast to coast, couldn't get it to go. Tip Henderson, no. Battle for the rebound, Telly McCullum with it. 2-on-1 the other way, Zupp coming back. This is Chris High. No, offensive foul on the McKinley Center. Dave Cady is off the bench, he doesn't like that call.
You'll see the Jackson players planted right under the basket. Chris High comes in, gets the foul.
That was Thiel that drew the foul, and it's Thiel with the basketball. 3-on-2 the other way. Thiel in the paint. No. Henderson strong with the rebound. I think the foul will go against Jay Keys. We will pause. Just under 5 minutes to go. We're tied at 2. Just shy of the mark. Hawkins with it. But Jackson back on defense. Hawkins in the paint. Nice feed inside to Marcus Dave. Marcus Dave averaging 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals. He's the leading scorer for Dave Cady's crew. 4-2 Bulldogs as we approach the midway point here in period number 1. Bosley drew the foul against Jay Keys.
Bosley shooting 78% from the free throw line. That's third line for Top Rank.
Jay Keys has quickly picked up 2 personal fouls, and he'll have to sit down. First substitution of the ball game is Jeff Gooden, 6'4" junior, averaging 5 points and 4 rebounds per game. 4-2 McKinley. Thiel trying to tie it up. Nobody draws the foul. It'll probably go against Gooden, who just checked in. It is on Gooden, his first.
Here you're seeing the replay here.
That's a good move, Danielle. Young man just comes in, doesn't even have time to get warmed up, and they go right at him. Matt Thiel, perfect at the foul line, 3 for 3. As Danielle mentioned, 81% foul shooter.
He's following in his brother's footstep. His brother David made first team All-Federal in the 91-92 season.
So the Thiel family has played a big role in Jackson basketball, along with the Bosley family. McCollum, right at the arc. They'll call it good for 3. And it's a 3-point McKinley advantage. Full court pressure, and they call McCollum around the back of Chris up. That'll be his first personal foul. McCollum averaging 11 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds a game. We remember, Danielle, McCollum hitting a big 3 at the end of the first half of their tournament game last March. Ali Cart, 6-man extraordinaire for Larry Taylor, is in. Jeff Chain gets a breather. Ali Cart averaging 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists per contest. And he comes right in and takes a shot, does everything but go in, and McCollum comes away with it. They'll call Scott Henderson with the personal. His first. So right now for McKinley, Hawkins and McCollum in the backcourt. It's Dave, Gooden, and Hyde up front. It's Cart, Zupp, Henderson, Bosley, and Thiel for Jackson. Jami Bosley moves from guard to forward. Hawkins with it, got it to Dave. McKinley again showing good patience. McCollum again, not this time. In good position for Matt Thiel, he gets the rebound. Zupp with it to Thiel. Guarded closely by Hawkins, and a foul on Hawkins before the shot. First personal foul on McKinley's point guard, Ron Hawkins. As you see, Thiel got the step. Boy, Matt Thiel making a career at the foul line early on. He's 4 out of 4.
Coach Taylor says Thiel is the epitome of work ethic, and he's worked hard to become a complete threat, meaning he can shoot, drive, and block.
Thiel averaging 15 points and 3 rebounds, perhaps the most impressive stat on number 20. A 51% shooter from three-point land, season high 23 points. He's a perfect 6 out of 6 from the foul line. Jeff Alexander checks in for the Bulldogs, 6'2" senior, averaging 7 points and 4 rebounds per game. Hawkins will get a breather. 7-6 the score on the Video Safari scoreboard. Defense has been the name of the game here in period number 1. High double teamed in the corner. The open man McCollum for 2, not this time. Battle for the rebound, out of bounds. McKinley will keep it. Just over 3 minutes to go here in period number 1. Alexander to trigger it. Marcus Dave with it. Picked up by Zupp in the Jackson zone. McCullum will put it up in the paint and got the roll. Only McCullum with 5. And McKinley up by 3 once again, 9-6. Ollie Cart bothered by Dave. Thiel open for 3. Zupp with the rebound. Cart for 3. Rim no, rebound Chris High. Kelly McCullum now at point guard for Dave Cady's crew with Hawkins out of the lineup. Off of High, controlled by Henderson. Ollie Cart to Thiel. Bosley making his move on High.
See, High in there was trying to set the screen for him.
Jami Bosley, his first 2. A 1-point McKinley lead at the 2-minute mark. Ollie Cart comes away with it. Knocked away by Chris Ha. So Jackson will retain the basketball. Chain is back in. Our first look at Jason Zupp, younger brother of Chris Zupp. Scott Henderson sits down. And Chris Zupp also gets a breather. Dustin Martelli, who played a year ago at Jackson, gets a reception at his return to the Denver Polar Bears. Also in there for Canton McKinley, number 14, junior guard Chris Hunt. So both teams going to the bench, often here in period number 1. Knocked away by Gooden, controlled by Thiel. Bosley with it, guarded by Dave. Boy, Bosley in traffic, got it to go. Jami Bosley is amazing. He's got 4. It's Jackson by 1 with a minute and a half to go first period. Hunt, Dave, Martelli, Gooden, and Alexander for McKinley. Dave got the roll. Marcus Dave with 4. The offense beginning to pick up. The Bulldogs by 1 with a minute 15 to go. Hunt bothering Ollie Cart. Got it to Zupp. Back to Cart. Matt Thiel makes a move. Matt Thiel, game's leading scorer with 8. Jackson by 1, less than a minute to play, opening period. Hunt to Dave, to Alexander. McKinley swinging the ball around. Hunt with the left-handed shot. Just missed. Got it back and threw it away. The McKinley player thought the shot was going up again. He was going in for the rebound. Hunt wanted to pass the ball. You saw Larry Taylor there momentarily. Just over 42 seconds to go. Again, Cart bothered by the double team. Finds the open man and Zupp. 3-on-3 the other way. Bosley. And he threw it away. 30 seconds to go. Chris Zupp is back for Matt Thiel. And Scott Henderson is in for Jason Zupp. McKinley with the basketball, down by 1, less than 30 seconds to go. Marcus Dave to Hunt, swinging inside Gooden. 15 seconds. Alexander at the three-point arc, under 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Shot up by Alexander is good for 3. Big shot by Jeff Alexander. At the end of 1, Canton McKinley 14, Jackson 12. To 12, that's the score on the Video Safari scoreboard. 2 in the books for Jackson. Matt Thiel leading all scorers with 8. Jami Bosley with 4. For McKinley, Telly McCullum 5, Marcus Dave 4, Jeff Alexander 3, and Jay Keys with 2. Zupp with it. Henderson high post. Nice save by Thiel in the corner. Looking inside, and the ball taken away. Good defense, McKinley. Keys to McCullum. Kelly McCullum leading scorer for McKinley with 7. Jami Bosley gets by the pressure. Beautiful feed to Henderson. The assist to Jami Bosley. Scott Henderson, his first 2. Bulldogs by 2, just underway second period. Keys, McCullum, Alexander, High, and Dave for McKinley. Thiel, the Zupp brothers, Henderson, and Bosley for Jackson. Marcus Dave double team, got it back McCullum, swing it back out front. Keys, open, Alexander, his second three-point goal of the game. Big lift off the bench for Dave Cady's crew. Jeff Alexander averaging 7 per game, already has 6 here. McKinley lead is 5. Back the other way, Henderson with the position. Quickly, Scott Henderson with 2 early second period buckets. We played a minute and a half. McKinley by 3. Alexander. Down in the corner, McCullum. Ball got away, controlled by Jay Keys. Nice feed inside. They'll call the foul on Jami Bosley. We will pause. Just over 6 minutes to go, second period. End of 1, McKinley 46%, Jackson just 25. Free throws, Jackson 6 for 6. First time McKinley's gone to the line in this game. Battle of the boards, pretty even, McKinley by 1. Turnovers, Jackson only 2, McKinley only 4.
Dave Cady says that Chris High has the potential to be a Division I player.
Chris High averaging 9 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 block shots per game. His first point up, and that's number 2. So High with 2, the McKinley lead is 5, and good pressure by Alexander. 21 McKinley, 16 Jackson. We played 2 minutes in the second period. The steal by Alexander, he takes it strong, couldn't get it to go. Ali Card with a rebound. Thiel in traffic, and a foul.
Thiel has the record in threes. He shot 7 threes in the game against Timken this season.
Great assist by Ali Cart. And speaking of threes, here's the conventional three-point play completed. Matt Thiel, what a game he has had. We talked about Jami Bosley at the outset, but Thiel's been the individual standout so far, already with 11 of his team's 19 points. Also perfect, 7 out of 7 from the line. McCullum, shot off the mark, good rebound inside. Marcus Dave now with 6. Also saw why Dave is second on McKinley in rebounds, averaging 6 per game. Thiel with it on the run. Chain, got it. Jeff Chain, his first 2. The tempo picking up here. The offense picking up. It's McKinley by 2. 5 minutes, 15 seconds to go before halftime. Kevin Birdie ready to see his first action in quite a while, coming back from knee surgery. Maybe giving Henderson a breather. McCullum thought about the shot. Instead, you gotta guard this guy. He is 3 out of 3 from three-point range. Jeff Alexander with 9 off the bench. It's McKinley by 5. McCullum goes down, play on, say the officials. Chain got it to Bosley on the give and go. And he's fouled hard from behind by Chris Hahn.
Jami Bosley is Jackson's career leader in scoring, rebounding, assists, and games played.
Funny, Dave Cady is up saying that Chris High got all ball and did not touch Jami Bosley. Hawkins back in the game. Telly McCullum will sit down for the first time. McCullum has 7 points. Hawkins is scoreless. Second tour of duty for Jeff Gooden. Chris High will have to sit down with 2 personal fouls. High has 2 points. Gooden is scoreless. Jami Bosley, 78% from the foul line. The could do a half-hour special on all his accomplishments, Danielle.
I think so. And there's one good thing about Jami, is that he's heading down to Ohio State to become a basketball Buckeye.
Gee, you're not prejudiced there, are you?
No, not at all. I'm hoping he can help out Randy and the bunch down there.
Of course, you know, when most of us, we will pause. 4:43 to go. It's a 3-point McKinley lead. McKinley advantage, I was about to say. I don't want to say Danielle is a Buckeye through and through, but instead of bleeding just red, she bleeds
scarlet and gray.
Got it. Approaching the midway point here, definitely the tempo picking up. It was 14-12, end of one, and both teams have almost doubled those scores at the midway point of period number 2. The Zupp brothers will sit down. Jami, Bosley, and Ali Cart check back in for Larry Taylor's team. McKinley with the ball, 3-point lead, and a big reason why, number 42, Jeff Alexander, who's buried 3 3-point shots since coming off the bench. Ron Hawkins running the show for the Bulldogs. He's out there with Martelli, Alexander, Gooden, and this man, Marcus Day. Pass stolen by Jami Bosley. Bosley, Thiel, Verdi, Chain, and Cart. That one slapped away by Alexander, controlled by Cart. Jeff Chain with it to Verdi. You see the wrap on his right leg. Cart open for 3. Ali Cart, his first bucket, and it's a brand new ball game. We're tied at 26. 3:20 to go before halftime. Alexander found Gooden. Couldn't get the bounce. Gooden with the rebound and the putback. Jeff Gooden with his first 2. McKinley by 2. 3:05 to go, period number 2. Jami Bosley, back to Ali Cart. Larry Taylor calling the play. Thiel's had the hot hand. Bosley makes his move in the paint, lost it to call a foul on Gooden. We'll pause, 2:46 to go before halftime. Safari scoreboard, 28 McKinley, 26 Jackson.
Jami Bosley played the 6th man as a freshman, so you know he's a real good player. Has a lot of varsity experience under his belt.
Much as you can get, and that's one reason why he's Stark County's all-time leading scorer. There he proves he's human. Shane got the rebound, couldn't draw iron. And McKinley has it, up by 2, 2:35 to go before halftime. Jay Keys picked up by Chain. Keys against Chain, how about that? Alexander with it. Inside, double teaming the basketball. Gooden needs some help. And a travel call. Credit that to the Jackson defense.
You notice, Scott, the defense for Jackson, the zone's working really well because McKinley's been taking a lot of shots from out in the 3-point range.
Russell Cash cashes in, he gets some playing time, 6'4" senior center. So Dave Cady has put 10 different players out on the floor.
That'll test the aerobic endurance of the Jackson.
Chain comes back, missed his last opportunity. Cash is in here, he's got 4. And again, we are tied, this time at 28. Hawkins left alone from 3-point range. Ron Hawkins, his first points, averaging 8 per game, along with 5 assists and 3 rebounds.
One interesting thing about Ron Hawkins is not only is he a great athlete, but he is also a scholar. He carries a 3.8 grade-point average.
Boy, you see Dave Cady up again. He didn't like that blocking foul. He wanted the charge. Well, I think that number on Hawkins is more important than what he does on the court, being successful in the classroom. Dave Cady, that's Mark Kiddo, his right-hand man, assistant coach.
While we're talking about Ron Hawkins, we should wish him a happy birthday. Tomorrow's his 18th birthday.
Right. And of course, I have shoes older than that, so I can appreciate Those days, it was so long ago, though, it's hard to remember.
Yep.
Ali Cart.
Turkish foreign exchange student. Coach Taylor says they had to overcome communication, cultural, and coaching barriers.
Ali with three. A three-pointer up and good by Jay Keys. Canton McKinley shooting the lights out from three-point land. Alexander has three three-point shots and one each for Hawkins, Keys, and McCollum. That's one reason why McKinley is up by 6. We're approaching the 1-minute mark in the second period. Jeff Chain, no. Tip Bosley, no. Henderson had it momentarily. Martelli comes away with it. Stay tuned at halftime. Danielle will talk to our host, Jackson Athletic Director Bill Desiker. Hawkins with it. McKinley may go for the final shot here. They have the ball. They're up by 6. Hawkins with it, far side. 30 seconds to play. Now Jackson comes up, forcing McKinley to do something. Knocked away, and Ali Cart did not touch it, so Jackson gets the basketball with 25 seconds to go in the period. Now McKinley had the ball in a 6-point lead, but they threw it away, and let's see if Jackson can capitalize. Cart with about a 4-inch height advantage on Hawkins, and that one gets away, and they say it's off to Jami Bosley. So back and forth we go. Chris Supp is in, Ali Cart will sit down. So it's Supp, Thiel, Bosley, Henderson, and Shane, the starting 5 for Larry Taylor. Hawkins, Cash, Martelli, Alexander, and Keys for McKinley. 5, 4, 3, shot is up, count and a foul. Jay Keys with 7. He'll look for his 8th point at the line.
Dave Cady says that Jay Keys is a great offensive player. He can go to the basket and shoot the 3.
You saw him go to the basket there. Fouls on Jeff Chain.
He's shooting 73% from the free throw.
8 points for Keys, 2.4 seconds to go. Chris Hunt back in. And we're also going to see Marcus Dave checking back in. Hawkins and Keys will sit down. McKinley's biggest lead at 8. Thiel, long pass. Broken up Martelli. Bosley got the shot away and just misses. We're at halftime. The score, Canton McKinley 36 and Jackson 28. The Polar Bears 23-16 in period number 2. It's Canton McKinley by 9 at halftime. Let's go down to Danielle Shinneberry with our host, Jackson Athletic Director Bill Desiker.
Well, Bill, first things first, let's clear up the confusion about the ticket.
Okay, Danielle, there's 2,500 people in here tonight, and of those, approximately 400 to some McKinley people, whatever, they could also squirrel away from Jackson people. We have 1,100 season ticket holders this year. And after we sent McKinley their allotment of tickets, we then did not have a public sale because our staff and student body, you can see our student body over 700 strong here, trying to stay within the guidelines and helping our staff. We have 2,500 people here, and unfortunately, we couldn't get everybody in that wanted to be here, but with your televising of the game tonight, we hope they'll enjoy it as much as everyone else is here.
Okay, now with that out of the way, let's talk about some of your other winter sports. How are they doing?
Very well. Our boys basketball presently is leading the Federal League. Our girls swim team is in a 3-way tie for first place in the Federal League. They finished their season. And our wrestling team presently is undefeated and is tied with Perry for first place in the Federal League. The boys finished swimming 2nd place. Our girls are 4th place right now in the Federal League, and they're running into some tough times. But we're doing very well. We're happy with everything.
And I understand you're hosting some tournament action here in the Den.
Right. We had the drawing for the girls Division I tournament last Sunday, and we have 12 teams coming in. Worcester, McKinley, Perry, and Hoover were seeded. 8 of those 12 teams have winning records, so we're looking starting February 20th for a very exciting tournament.
Okay, now we're going to change gears a little bit.
Okay.
As far as football goes, is there anything you can share with us about the head coaching position?
Well, just that we're looking at a lot of quality candidates, and we're trying to get enough information for our committee to make some decisions before we start the interview. I would guess that that process will probably be another 10 days or so, and then we'll begin interviewing, and hopefully by the first or second week of March be able to tell the Jackson people in Stark County who the new football coach will be at Jackson High School.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more from the Jackson Polar Bear Den right after this.
At halftime for the Bulldogs, 10 players saw action, 7 in the scorebook. Balanced scoring. Jeff Alexander off the bench. 3 3-point goals, good for 9 points. Jay Keys 8, Telly McCullum 7, Marcus Dave 6, Ron Hawkins with 4 and 2 apiece for Chris High and Jeff Gooden. For Jackson, 8 seeing duty, 5 in the scoring column, led by Matt Thiel with 11, Jami Bosley with 6, Jeff Chain, Scott Henderson 4 apiece, Ali Cart with 3. Vic Steffen's team numbers from the field: Jackson 9 for 21, McKinley a sizzling 14 for 24, with a number of 3-point goals, 6 to be exact. From the free throw line, both teams shooting well. The difference, the number of attempts: Jackson 9 out of 11, McKinley just 3 for 3. Rebounds, the Bulldogs by 3, and considering the defensive pressure, good low numbers of turnovers for both teams. Both teams warming up. Stay tuned. We're expecting a great second half of action. Halftime here from Jackson High School. McKinley 37, the Polar Bears 28. The Safari scoreboard. McKinley with the basketball and a 9-point lead, just beginning play here in period number 3. Chris High in there with Dave, Keys, Hawkins, and McCullum. Nice feed, Marcus Dave from Jay Keys. Marcus Dave with 8. McKinley, its biggest lead of the game, 11. Thiel, Bosley, Henderson, Zupp, and Chain. So both teams, the starting 5 back in there. Thiel for 3. He has been on fire. Matt Thiel, 14 points in this game. Hawkins into Hyde. Blocking foul called on Henderson. A reminder, this game brought to you thanks to support of local advertisers. Under authority granted to TV 67 by Jackson High School.
Coach Katie says that Telly McCullum is one of his quickest guards to play for the Bulldogs.
Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures or accounts of this game without the express written consent of TV 67 at Jackson High School is strictly prohibited. High inside, caught in a foul.
Chris High going to the line. He says his first dunk was in the 5th grade. Guess he had an early growth spurt.
Because I dunked a donut at age 5, but I don't think that's what you were talking about there. Chris High with 5, including 3 out of 3 from the line. And again, this ties McKinley's biggest lead of the game, 11, and Chris Zupp called for the turnover. Dave Cady, Mark Kiddo, and a timeout on the floor. It's McKinley by 11 as we take timeout. In the game, we will select a player of the game from each team. Each player will receive a handsome plaque and certificate from our friends of CCI and Ameritech Centrex, your telecommunications teammates. You see Rick Lutz often down at the Hall of Fame.
Yes, I do. He told me he was pumping iron just to keep up with Floyd.
There you go. Floyd Hendershot will appreciate that, one of our account executives.
I said he wouldn't have to work too hard then.
Oh, shot from the booth. Foul called against Kent McKinley. Let's see who it's on. Go against Telly McCullum. Bosley will trigger it on McCullum, his second personal foul. Scott Henderson gets the ball quickly to Chain, rejected by Chris High. Tipped by McCullum. Battle for the ball. We're going to get a jump ball. And let's check on the alternate possession. We'll get it. Jackson will get it. Jeff Chain will trigger it to Scott Henderson. Matt Thiel inside Jami Bosley against High. Jami Bosley with 8. The McKinley lead is 9. We've played 2 minutes in the third period. Good ball movement on the perimeter by the Bulldogs. Chris High working against Henderson. Short, rebound Jeff Chain, foul on Chris High. And I believe that's his third personal foul, so Chris High, the first player in foul trouble on either team. Ollie Cart and Jason's up in for Jackson.
Now, you want to know what Ollie Cart's biggest thing to overcome when he came to the United States was?
I don't know.
Getting up at 6 a.m. for school.
Amen to that. Thiel for 3, got it again. Oh, Matt Thiel having a game to remember. 17 points for the 6'3" senior. And the McKinley lead at one time 11 is down to 6. Jay Keys will be going to the foul line. We will pause, 5:20 to go, third period. Safari scoreboard. McKinley trying to build that lead back up. Keys will try and split the pair. He is 1 out of 2 from the foul line. Henderson sits down and Jeff Chain back in for Jackson. We talked about Ollie Cart having trouble getting up. What was it, 6:30?
No, 6.
6. You know me, I have trouble getting to work by 8:30. And I've lived in this country all my life, so I can relate.
Well, he must be somewhat alert when he gets to class because he carries a 3.0 grade point average.
Very good. Jami Bosley picked up by Keys. This is Thiel guarded by Hawkins. McKinley in the man-to-man. Mismatch with Chain and McCullum in terms of height. Thiel has about 5 inches on Aaron Hawkins. We'll see if Jackson tries to move it inside. They'll call McCullum for the foul. He's trying to front Jeff Chain.
Telly McCullum says his most memorable moment was losing to Jackson in the playoffs.
McCullum now with 3 personal fouls. Ollie Cart a long 3. Could have been partially blocked. Either that or certainly the McKinley man bothering that shot. McCullum with it to Hawkins. Dave, Gooden, and Keys complete the McKinley 5. Gooden with the offensive board. Bad angle on the shot. Rebound Keys. Jay Keys with 10. The McKinley lead is 8. Jason Zupp needs some help. Stolen by McCullum. Foul. And which way is it going to go? Probably against Ollie Cart.
Looked like a block.
Yep. So Chris Zupp and Scott Henderson are in. Jeff Chain and Jason Zupp sit down. So now it's Henderson, Thiel, and Bosley up front with Zupp and Cart in the backcourt. Keys, Alexander's back in. Hawkins, Dave, and Gooden for Kent McKinley. Watch out, Alexander's hit 3 threes. He was picked up quickly by Thiel. Passed on the shot, gets it back. This time guarded by Ollie Cart off the Jackson zone. Keys, nice feed to Gooden, blocked by Henderson. We're going to call a jump ball. Boy, Dave Cadia doesn't like that call. McKinley will keep it on the alternate possession, so they'll maintain possession of the basketball. Hawkins out front. In the corner to Dave. Looking inside. Gooden, and a foul on Henderson. We'll pause. 3:48 to go. Period number 3. With the ball and an 8-point lead. 3:45 to go. A 3 by Hawkins. Just misses. Quite high for the rebound. He goes down hard. Landed on his left elbow in the shoulder area there. Boy, he fell hard.
Here you see him go up for the ball and just, right down on that elbow and the hip.
Bounces back quickly.
He really shook that off. He's going to be black and blue tomorrow.
Bosley to trigger it against full court McKinley pressure. An 8-point Bulldog advantage. Thiel for 3.
Cart really set him up for that shot. He had a nice cross-court pass.
All right, tell the CCI engraver to put the name Matt Thiel on the plaque. He is playing one of the great games of his career, but Keys comes right back for Canton McKinley. Jay Keys with a dozen. Hart gets by the McKinley pressure. 3-on-3, Thiel again. For Matt Thiel, ties his season high. It's a 4-point McKinley lead. Alexander short off of Cart. Battle for the rebound, controlled by Ali Cart. The McKinley lead at one point was 11. Jackson with the basketball has cut it to 4. Bosley fouled by Alexander. Second personal foul on Jeff Alexander. Timeout on the floor. 2:32 to go. Period number 3. Kent McKinley 46. Jackson 42. The Video Safari scoreboard. Kent McKinley by 4. It's been a game of runs, Danielle, in terms of offense in period number 3. At one time, McKinley up by 11. Jackson now has sliced it to 4. Jeff Gooden will pick up the personal foul. And what happens here, you put Jackson in the bonus. And they're an excellent foul shooting team as a team, averaging 73%, so hitting almost 3 out of every 4 foul shots. And Jeff Gooden joins Chris High and Telly McCullum, each with 3 personal fouls. Bosley against Martelli, former teammates. And Martelli will get called for the foul. I'll check it. Might be Dave. Watch number 20.
No, I think it was Martelli.
Boy, but they called the personal foul though on Marcus Dave. That's his second. Our officials tonight who have a better vantage point than we do. Tony Grace and Greg Miller. How about more on the Jami Bosley story?
Well, Coach Taylor says he's like a block of granite for the team. Despite all the pressure, school, the game, the media, he stayed strong and has been a real team leader.
Got the roll there. He's 4 out of 5 from the free throw line tonight, and he's in double figures with 10. Now Jackson with the full court pressure. Alexander got it to Hawkins. That's the guy from the McKinley perspective who won handling the basketball around Hawkins. Jay Keys with it, approaching the 2-minute mark. And the McKinley lead at one time 11 early in the third period is down to 2, 46 to 44. Martelli double teamed, and it's tipped away nicely by Zupp. Zupp will challenge Hawkins. We are tied at Hawkins right back to Dave. Got it. Marcus Dave with 10 points. Minute 30 to go, third period. McKinley 48, Jackson 46. Bosley in the open court. Makes a move on Martelli. Bosley with a dozen. We're tied at 48, 1:20 to go, third period. Keys and Dave, Alexander, Hawkins and Martelli for McKinley. Hart, Bosley, Chain, Zupp, and Thiel for Jackson. Alexander has 11, and they're going to call a foul in the backcourt. Yep, Alexander getting the body on Bosley.
A little too much contact there.
And Alexander, the latest in a long line of Bulldogs with 3 personal fouls, 4 different players with that distinction.
We have Jami Bosley. He usually averages 10 points in the first half and then comes back even stronger in the second with 14.
Well, he had 6 in the first half, going for his 7th point in the third period. 5 out of 6 for the All-Ohioan at the foul line. Looking for his 14th point. Jeff Chain will be called for the personal foul, going over the back of Jay Keys. Exactly 1 minute to play in the third period. Second personal foul on Jeff Chain. They'll call the T on Dave Cady. He's been vocal here tonight. His Bulldogs lead by 1.
Ref's looking a little upset.
Well, he listened for a while and then he blew the whistle.
He even said something back.
Jami Bosley right back at the foul line. You played a little basketball in your time. Is it tougher to shoot foul shots with nobody there versus having people, on both sides of the paint?
Well, personally, I find it more difficult to shoot it when there's no one there because everybody is just staring at you and the pressure's on.
Chris Hunt checks in. Jeff Alexander will sit down. Hunt scoreless. Alexander has given McKinley a big lift off the bench with 11. Tied at 50. With just under a minute to go here, third period. Ali Cart got it to Zupp. Jackson's first lead in a very long time, 52 to 50. McKinley with the basketball, 40 seconds to go in the third period. Hunt and Hawkins in McKinley backcourt. Martelli, Dave, and Keys up front. Under 30 seconds to go. Keys thought about the 3, picked up by Zupp. Cross court Hawkins, 15 seconds to go, third period. No look pass to Dave. Marcus Dave with a dozen. We're tied at 52, 6, 5. Whistle, offensive foul on Zupp.
Charging foul.
Marcus Dave holding his position. 4.8 seconds to go, third period.
You'll see Dave plant himself right here on the court. Momentum takes him and he gets the charging foul.
First look at Jesse Barr, 6'1" junior guard who checks in, and Zupp will sit down. Both teams in the bonus the entire fourth period. Hawkins got the shot away, no. Battle for the rebound, no. And the third period is in the books. We are tied at 52. Back with an exciting fourth period of play right after these words of interest. Video Safari scoreboard by outscoring the Bulldogs 24-15 in period number 3. We're back even at 52. Danielle Jackson had just 28 points at halftime. They got 24 in the third period.
Jackson always seems to step it up in the second half.
Offensively, Matt Thiel has been amazing. He has 23 points. That ties the season high. That includes 4 3-point goals. Jami Bosley is next in line with 14. Others in the scorebook for Jackson. Chris is up with 2. Jeff Chain with 4. Scott Henderson 4. Ali Cart 3. Jason's up with 2. Ali Cart, a long three, he buries it.
I guess Ollie's adjusted his play to American basketball, hasn't
Sure has, a pair of 3-point goals. He's had a number, as Danielle mentioned, of great assists. Dialing long distance on both his shots and his passes. And he's really given his team a lift. 3-point Jackson lead. Jay Keys for 3, air ball. Bosley with the rebound. That's Matt Thiel.
Pass.
Yep, Thiel's really had the hot hand. He likes that spot on the floor. Bosley counted a foul.
Foul's on high.
Vintage Jami Bosley there. If it is on high, it's his 4th personal foul.
Here we see in the replay. Yep.
Well, Chris had to challenge him there. And a timeout. 7:09 to go. Jackson by 5. Give me a chance to add up the numbers for Canton McKinley individually. And as we look, a dozen points apiece for Jay Keys and Marcus Dave. 11 off the bench for Jeff Alexander, 7 for Kelly McCullum, 5 for Chris High, 3 for Ron Hawkins, and 2 for Jeff Gooden. Now it's been Matt Thiel outside, Jami Bosley inside for the Polar Bears. Dave and Keys showing their consistency for McKinley, and Alexander giving them a big lift off the bench. That's been the individual story of this game. Larry Taylor, as we mentioned, his 11th season, a record of 160 wins, 87 losses. Dave Cady, his 10th and final season as Bulldogs boss. He'll retire at the end of the year. 201 wins, just 34 losses. After 3, Danielle, McKinley and Jackson both sizzling from the floor, hitting 55% of their shots. Both teams pretty solid at the free throw line. The big difference, Jackson 13 out of 17, McKinley just 4 out of 6. Bosley completes the conventional 3-point play. He's got 17. Biggest lead for Jackson in the game, 6 with 7 minutes to play. Jackson on a 6-0 run to start this 4th period, but it stops there. Kelly McCullum with 9. Cart and Zupp in the backcourt. Bosley, Chain, and Thiel up front, so Jeff Chain in the middle for Jackson. Bosley, not this time, got the rebound. Surrounded by 4 different McKinley players, he still puts it down. McKinley on an 8-2 run and a turnover.
Traveling
For the Jackson fans, deja vu all over again, as Yogi Berra would say. And for McKinley, this is like a bad Son of Ghoul movie. That is, McKinley had the lead, just like in that playoff game. And again, Jackson coming from behind late in the contest. But still, a lot of basketball to be played. Just over 6 minutes to go. Cart surrounded by Bulldogs. Bosley with the rebound. Couldn't get it to go. Jay Keys controls for McKinley. Ron Hawkins with it. McKinley needs a bucket here. Nice feed inside, but Gooden surrounded. Dave passed on the three-point shot. Jackson in that tough zone defense. Dave with it, makes a move on Thiel. Goes for the rebound, Bosley there. Zup controls for Jackson. 5:25 to play. Jackson with the basketball and a 6-point lead. Larry Taylor calling out the play. Bosley with it, guarded by Dave. Bosley had just 6 at halftime. He has scored 13 points here in the second half. Ollie Cart got it to Chain. Under 5 minutes to play. This time Jackson showing patience against a tough McKinley man-to-man defense. Bosley with the move on Dave. Jami Bosley, 7 points in this fourth period. 7 points in crunch time, 21 in the game. And the CCI engraver may have to get 2 plaques ready for the Polar Bears. Thiel and Bosley, they've been the show offensively tonight. Hawkins, a long three, couldn't draw iron. Saved by Gooden. Saved by Zup, but he steps out of bounds. Scott Henderson to return for Jackson. Alexander back in for McKinley. Chris High will also check back in. Shane sits down for Jackson. Jay Keys will get a breather for McKinley. McKinley has 6 players on the court. And Dave now will sit down. Barr back in. A nice hand for Ollie Cart, who's played well here. He has 6 points. And he gets a smile from Larry Taylor. Gooden in the paint. Short. Bosley another rebound. Approaching the midway point of the final period. Jackson at one time down by 11 early third period, now enjoys a 62-54 lead. Thiel picked up by Gooden. They're looking for Jami Bosley. Bounced off of Henderson's leg. Alexander trying to control. Foul on Zup. Both teams are in the bonus. So we're going to have a lot of foul shots, Danielle, down the stretch.
Here we go for the replay. I think Chain just got a little bit too aggressive.
Chris Zup gets the personal foul, his second. And let's see, that'll put Alexander at the line. Averaging 7 points a game already with 11. He had 3 big threes in the first half. His first trip to the foul line, he's a 63% shooter. What else can you tell us about Jeff Alexander?
Well, you mentioned his skills, Scott, and that's probably why the coach says he has the potential to be a Division I player.
Gives him a nice lift off the bench, 7 points, 4 rebounds. I think he does for McKinley what Ollie Cart does for Jackson. Difference being Alexander a front court player. Ollie Cart, of course, in the backcourt for Larry Taylor's team. 62-55 the score as Alexander splits the pair. He has 12 in the game. 3:33 to play. Ollie Cart right back in there. So it's Cart and Zup in the backcourt. Bosley, Henderson, and Thiel out front as Jackson spreads the floor offensively. Trying to find an opening in this McKinley man-to-man defense. Cart for 3. Got it. Cart with 3 3-point goals. Biggest lead for Jackson, 10 points.
Ollie Cart said his goal was to play college basketball in the United States.
McCollum a long 3 and he drains it. Telly McCollum with a dozen. And we have a Kent McKinley timeout. 2:53 to play. It's Jackson by 7. Video Safari scoreboard, Jackson 65, McKinley 58. Jackson has outscored the Bulldogs 13-6 to grab this 7-point advantage after we were tied at 52. Home run ball for Bosley. He got it away from Dave, put it up, no, but a foul. And it'll go against Gooden. That will be his 4th personal foul. So Gooden and High, the 2 McKinley centers, each with 4 personal fouls. So McKinley in trouble in the middle defensively.
You know, we mentioned Ollie Cart wanted to his dream is to play college basketball in the United States. He has a brother who does play basketball in northern Michigan.
Jami Bosley, 7 out of 10 from the line. I've never seen a high school player go to the foul line as much as Jami Bosley. It's a reflection of the physical game that he plays, and he's always been a very fine free throw shooter.
And the all-time leading scorer in Stark County with over 1,800 points.
Oh, by the way, Luke Whitty at one time holding that mark, certainly being right up there. McCollum in the lane, counted. He has a chance for a 3-point play. Well, McCollum with a 3 and now a 2-point bucket. But Danielle, he's been a real lift for the Bulldogs. He has, I've got him down for 3, 5, 7 points in this 4th period. He's got 14 in the game.
Coach Katie does say he's one of the quickest guards to play for McKinley.
77% free throw shooter. First time at the line tonight. 11 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and 3 steals per game. It's fine all-around basketball play for Telly McCollum. A 7-point Jackson lead with 2 minutes, 22 seconds to play. This is where it hurts, Danielle, if you're an opponent of the Polar Bears. Again, they hit about 3 out of every 4 foul shots as a team, which is really outstanding on the high school level. There's a foul on McCollum. And you have to foul to force him to the foul line to try to get the ball back, but Jackson is so good at the foul line, it's almost a no-win situation.
Right, we talked about this before, Scott, that every person on their team averages over 60% from the foul line.
Ollie Cart, first time at the line. He's a 62% foul shooter, but he's really given his team a lift. 3 3-point goals, trying to get into double figures, averaging 10 points per game. He can hit his average right here.
Coach Taylor says he's brought a lot of maturity to the team.
Yeah, it looks like Thiel and Bosley are strong CCI candidates, but you have to put Ollie Cart in there at least as an honorable mention. He's got 11. The Jackson lead is 9 with 2 minutes to play. McCollum a long 3, not this time. Rebound Bosley, got by McCollum. Bosley, 1-on-3, and he puts it down. Minute 50 to play. The Jackson lead is back to 11. Danielle Shinneberry heading downstairs. We will talk to both coaches at the end of this game. Get their reaction to this regular season classic. It was McKinley by 2 at the end of 1. McKinley by 9 at halftime. We were tied at 52 at the end of 3. Jackson has outscored McKinley in this 4th period, 19-8. Marcus Dave, 65% free throw shooter on the season. First trip tonight. He's got 13 points for McKinley. Keys has 12. McCollum, leading scorer for the Bulldogs tonight with 14. 1:41 to play. Dave will try to make it a 9-point Jackson lead. He's up to trigger it against full court pressure. Bosley with it, foul on Alexander. That should be his 4th. So Alexander, Gooden, and High, each with 4 personal fouls for McKinley. Oh, check that. 5th personal foul. Alexander is fouled out. A good game off the bench for the 6'2 senior forward, a dozen points. In terms of bench scoring in the game, McKinley's gotten 14 points off the bench. Jackson with 13. Jami Bosley, 9 out of 12 from the line tonight. 10 out of 13, looking for his 27th point of the game. And remember, he had only 6 at halftime. Leading scorer for Jackson, 25 per game. Leading rebounder, 10 per contest. Hawkins a long 3, air ball, Thiel with the rebound. Jackson with the ball, an 11-point lead, 1 minute 25 seconds to play. Hunt forced to fouls up. They're in the bonus. Both teams over the team foul limit. So 1 and 1 upcoming for Chris Zupp. Looking for points 3 and 4 on the night. He is a 71% foul shooter, averaging 3 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. Not much of a breather for Chris Zupp as he went directly from Jackson football to Jackson basketball. The Jackson lead a dozen with 1 minute 22 to play. Zupp with 4, biggest advantage for Jackson. McKinley shooting the threes. Keys missed that time. McCullum got it over Card, no good. Ali with the rebound. 1:06 to play and a McKinley foul. I believe it'd be Keys or Dave. Looks like it's on Marcus Dave. And again, his 3rd personal foul. The 1 and 1 bonus situation as we look at Larry Taylor. Has to be thrilled with the comeback. His team down by 9 at halftime, up by 13 here. So unless McKinley stages a miraculous comeback, the Bulldogs will fall to 13 and 2 on the season. Jackson improves to 14 and 3. And with the tournament drawing coming up on Sunday, if you go strictly by head-to-head competition, it looks like Jackson could be the #1 seed, McKinley #2, but it would set up a potential rematch in a Canton District title game. Ali Cart, 13 points off the bench. 1 minute to play. Jackson by 15. Shot no good by Hunt. Henderson with the rebound and the foul on Hunt with 55 seconds to play. Interesting to see on Sunday who gets the 3rd and 4th seeds in the tournament. I know Alliance, a strong contender there. Hoover will get some consideration. Massillon, a very young team, could be dangerous by tournament time. Incidentally, we'll feature these two teams one more time apiece during the regular season. Next Friday night, we'll be right back here as Hoover visits the Polar Bears' den. 2 weeks from tonight, we'll follow the Bulldogs to the Carnation City as they'll meet the Alliance Aviators. And one more telecast in February. That will be on Tuesday the 21st as Perry will travel to Massillon. 3-point shot, Hawkins, no. Hunt with the rebound, got it. Chris Hunt, his first 2. And another foul with 42 seconds to play. Reminder too, a high school wrestling special comes your way on TV 67 Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. Chuck Kreiner will join me for the call from Uhrichsville, Ohio. The Claymont Mustangs entertaining the Lake Blue Streaks. The hand for Scott Henderson, who exits. Henderson with 4 points in the game. Couple of block shots. Typical Scott Henderson game. Assists, rebounds, he did it all here tonight. As did that man, Ali Cart. What a lift he gave Jackson off the bench. Couldn't get the foul shot to go. He is 4 out of 6 from the line. Shot is short by Dave. Bosley, still another rebound. McCullum with the interception, throws it up. Zupp controls, under 30 seconds to play. Thiel to Cart, 25 seconds to play. Jackson will spread it out, enjoying a 15-point lead. He may be content to run the clock out. The Jackson fans on their feet with 10 seconds to go. Ball stolen by McCollum. He'll stop and pop from 3. It won't drop. Rebound Keys. He puts it up. Count it, and the game is over. The final score, Jackson 79, hit McKinley 66. Safari scoreboard. The difference, the fourth period, where Jackson outscored McKinley 21-14 to win at 79-66. Down to Danielle Shinneberry, standing by with McKinley head coach Dave Cady.
Well, Coach Cady, the Bulldogs played a really good game tonight, but in your opinion, what gave the Polar Bears the edge?
Well, you know, we were in good shape at halftime. I thought we had executed the things that we wanted to execute. But second half, Thiel and Bosley took over for them, and we weren't able to cope with that. And really, we didn't execute well the second half. Part of that was Jackson's fault. Part of it was ours. But Jackson played an excellent basketball game and a great second half, and the credit goes to them. They deserve to win.
Can you tell us who's next on the Bulldogs schedule?
Well, next we go to Perry tomorrow night, and that'll be a tough ball game for us. We'll be a little down, but hopefully we'll regroup tomorrow night and get things back on the right track, and hopefully maybe we'll see Jackson again in the tournament.
What kind of special challenges does your next game present to you?
Well, I think the tough part's going to be to bounce back. This is a very emotional game for us, and it's tough to bounce back when you haven't played as well as you think you should. Our kids, though, I think will bounce back. We just need to get ourselves back in the right frame of mind and get things back on the right track, and if we can do that tomorrow night, then that'll be a plus for us.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Back to you, Scott.
Okay, thanks, Danielle. And while we wait for Larry Taylor, let's talk about the team stats. Jackson shooting 56% from the floor, 22 out of 39. McKinley 47%, 26 out of 55. My opinion, the difference in the game, the free throw shooting. Now, Jackson with the edge in terms of percentages, but more importantly, the number of attempts. Jackson 26 out of 30, McKinley 7 out of 11. Rebounds almost even, turnovers almost even, so really the foul shooting the difference tonight. Individually, Canton McKinley with balanced scoring. Telly McCullum, Jay Keys, and Marcus Dave each with 14 points. Jeff Alexander with 12 off the bench, so they had 4 in double figures. Chris High with 5, Aron Hawkins with 3, Chris Hunt and Jeff Gooden with 2 apiece. Dustin Martelli and Russell Cash played but did not score. McKinley now 13-2 on the season. Jackson improves to 14-3. Jami Bosley scored 23 of his game-high 29 points in the second half. Matt Thiel, 23 points. Ollie Cart, 13 points, including 10 in crunch time. 4 each for Chris Up, Jeff Chain, and Scott Henderson. Jason's up with 2. Jesse Barr and Kevin Verdi played but did not score. Let's go down with Danielle Shinneberry and the Taylor family.
No, I don't know where I adopted them from.
Well, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you, Danielle.
And second of all, now the Polar Bears played a great game overall, but it seems that there were really 2 players who took the bull, or the bulldog in this case, by the horns, and that would be Matt Thiel and Ollie Cart.
Well, I think what you look at, Danielle, is the things that we've always stood for here. I thought our kids just made a monster effort. 2 players can't bring you back when you're down 11 like we were to McKinley. We told all those kids that at the defensive end is where you're going to win this thing. You're going to have to start making them take a little bit tougher shots. I thought our on-the-ball defense wasn't very good in the first half, and it showed at the end of the first half there. So, you know, the thing is our kids just were able to turn it up when they had to, and if you don't play defense against McKinley, you're not going to win. That's for sure. So, no doubt that Ollie and Matt Thiel gave us that spark, and Jami was just an absolute Jami. But after that, these kids just come through in flying colors for us, and I couldn't be more proud of this basketball team.
Who's next to enter the Bear Den?
Well, we're going on the road Tuesday. We're going to get over this one tomorrow. We're going to practice a little bit tomorrow morning for Glen Oak. We have to go over there for a big Federal League game Tuesday, and then we've got North Canton back in here on Friday, and we wrap up things with Lake back in here next Tuesday. So we're looking forward to it. Our fans have been awesome. You know, we didn't get a chance to say much of that to them. They are absolutely fantastic. They showed that tonight again, and you got to love them all.
Well, that's the word from the head man. Back to you, Scott.
Okay, thanks Danielle, and thanks and congratulations to Larry Taylor and the Polar Bears. Our CCI players of the game, some tough choices. For Kent McKinley, the choice is Jay Keys, the 6-foot junior forward who had 14 points, strong on the boards, played a good all-around game. Got to say, certainly honorable mention to Ali Cart for his efforts off the bench, but we'll split the CCI award for Jackson between Jami Bosley, who finished with 29 points, and Matt Thiel, who had 23, including 4 3-pointers, and Matt Perfect, 7 out of 7 from the line. I want to say a few quick thank yous as we say goodnight. I'm very, very proud of Danielle Shinneberry, the job she did tonight, her first ever time in this position as far as sports analyst, and she did an outstanding job. As always, my thanks to my statistician and right-hand man, Mr. Victor Steffen, to Randy Ramsey, an outstanding job tonight doing double duty, producing and directing. As always, it's great to work with the professionals from Image Video, Mike Tonjes, Jim Baltus, Dave and Connie Little. And it's good to see Frank Leghart back here, and our cameraman tonight, Tim Scott and Kevin Cooper, joining Legs from the TV67 side. The final score for the final time on the Video Safari scoreboard. The Jackson Polar Bears 79, the Canton McKinley Bulldogs 66. This TV67 special sports presentation has been brought to you in part by George Wakeham Ford. George Wakeham really is your friend at the factory. CCI and Ameritech Centrex, your telecommunications teammates. Lighthouse Pools and More, your customer-driven company for over 35 years. Value City Department Stores. No one gives you greater selection and savings than Value City. Toyota. I love what you do for me, Toyota. Clearwater Systems, for water the way it should be. 30th Street Giant Eagle. It takes a giant to make life simple. And the Montrose Auto Group, including Montrose Lincoln Mercury and Alliance and Montrose Chrysler Plymouth and Louisville. Both just down the road from High Pressure. One more time, the names of the people from TV67 and Image Video making this broadcast possible. For my broadcast partner, Danielle Shinneberry, our statistician, Vic Steffen, until we meet again, 1 week from tonight at Jackson, where the Polar Bears take on Hoover. 2 weeks from tonight in the Carnation City, Alliance hosting McKinley. For everyone at TV67 and Image Video, my name is Scott Davis. Have a good night, everybody.